Hello, my name is Rachel and this is my channel, The Girl with the Pilates Mat. Welcome to class. Today we're doing a 30-minute Pilates mat workout, and this is Pilates for core strength. It's going to include lots of exercises to strengthen you all around your core, glutes included, but there will be no flexion and there will be no rotation. So it is safe if you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, also if you have any disc issues, you will be able to do this without causing yourself any discomfort. All right, so if you're ready, let's begin. All right, so let's get down on the mat and come and lie down with your knees bent, your feet hip width apart. Okay. And we're going to have a slightly different position of the arms today because we're going to kind of focus on really strengthening that upper back area, the spinal muscles. So I want you to reach your arms up in the air, draw your shoulder blades down, and then bend at the elbows and bring the arms right by your side. Okay, and I want you to think of pressing down into those elbows, drawing your shoulders back, so you can feel your shoulder blades on the mat, and then you're going to take a breath in and you're going to breathe out, press down with the arms and straight up with the hips. So no flexing, we're just hinging at the hips. This is working the glutes and coming down. So pressing up and down. If you want at the breathing, it's exhale up, inhale down. And down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and up and down. Now you're going to press up. We're going to stay here and do little pulses upwards. So we're going up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And come all the way down. Well done. Let's reach those arms up. Inhale, reach fingertips to ceiling. Exhale, draw your shoulder blades down and feel the breath across your collarbones as you come down. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, drawing down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, drawing down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And inhale, up. Exhale, down. Now turn your palms away from you and draw your elbows, so we're bending the elbows and taking the elbows as wide as we can out to the side. So you can feel that stretch across your chest. Now you're going to rotate those arms back, bring them forward, keep the shoulder blades on the floor and come back up. Let's do that again. So we draw down, we rotate, we come back, and up. Now the reason we're doing this is because anybody who's rounded in the upper back will have the need to strengthen through their shoulders and their upper back muscles. Okay, which are also, as far as I'm concerned, all your spinal muscles are part of your core. So that's what we're doing right now. Good, we're going to do it 2 more times. Back and up. And on this one, this last one, we're going to draw the arms back so we've got that goalpost position and we're going to leave them there. So you've got to try and keep that upper body position, and then gently, as you inhale, take your knees gently over to the right. Exhale, pull your tummy muscles in and come back. So it's a very small movement. Inhale over. exhale back. So try and focus on your tummy muscles here. So we inhale. Now exhale, pull your tummy in and bring the knees back. Other way, inhale over, exhale back. Last time, over and back and over and back. Now bring your elbows back down to that first position. So they're right beside your rib cage, fingertips pointing up. And we're going to lift our legs into the air. So we'll start with just the right leg, okay? And I'm going to progress it in difficulty. So we're going to keep the spine completely still. We're going to inhale, reach the leg away, tap the floor. Exhale, bring it up. So this is working your lower abdominals, your hip flexors, down and up. Inhale, down and up. So you've got to keep your pelvis still whilst that leg is moving, and that's where your core work comes in. Good. We're going to do 4, 3, 2, 1. Come here. Now see if you can switch those legs over. Left side, lower and lift, lower and lift. Lower and lift, lower and lift. 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Switch back to the first side. Now you can leave the arms where they are, or you can take out that support and just have them resting on the mat. We're going to do the leg changes. So this is where we're going to switch, alternate those legs. And it's really easy not to control your spine here. So you've got to focus on keeping it really still. If you want to cue yourself, you can put your hands here and you'll feel what's going on in that pelvis. So we're going to inhale, change, exhale, change. There's no weight in that foot. You just toe touches the floor and back. So keep pulling in on the abdominals. Keep pulling in all the time. Good. 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Well done. And come on down. Super. Okay, so let's go on to our side for a moment. Just going to give your abdominals a little rest. We will come back to it though. So you're going to come onto your side, elbow underneath. Okay, so this is working your core here. You've got to press down into that elbow. So we're really lifting through here. You can see that my muscles here are working to stabilize me. And then I'm going to reach this top leg out. Think of length through that leg. Okay, and if you're happy to, take a hand behind the head. And then we're just going to lift and lower. 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 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Bring this arm down and then we're going to inhale, push into that elbow and try and lift ourselves up. Take the arm over. Nice little stretch to the side of the body. Take it back and bring yourself down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over. Inhale, up and lower down. So this is working on building that bone density as well as strengthening the muscles. Very, very important. And down. Lift and over. Up and down. We're going to add extra in today because I really want you to get nice and strong. Up and down. I think that's 5 and 6. We can do 8 and 7. Good. And down. And number 8, those of you that want the challenge, you're going to come up, bring that arm back, Now flatten that leg that's extended and see if you can bring the other leg in front and off the floor. So now it's full body weight. And you're going to hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and then gently come back down. Bring yourself up. Let's give that shoulder a little release. Let's go on to the other side. So reset the body. So we want the elbow under the shoulder. Okay. And then we want that leg stretched out, looking down your own body. Just check you're not rolling back or forward, yeah? Because we really want to target our waistline here. Okay, think of lifting up. And then we're going to go up. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8, let's do 2 more, and 9, and 10. And then from there, we're going to lift up and take the arm over, come back and lower down. Lift up, 2. My dog is dreaming. I can hear her making noises. And up and down. 4, 3. So really think about pushing into that elbow and down, and 4, and over, and up. We're halfway. Keep going. 5, and over, and up, and down, and 6, and over, and up, and down. And 7. Remember, we have a challenge at the end of this one. So coming up, last one. Good, those that want the challenge, you're going to bring that hand up. You're going to try and bring that bottom leg in front, lifting up and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring yourself back down. Wonderful. Okay, so from here, you're going to come back and lie down. Going to think again about the front of the abdominals, and we're going to lift our legs up into our tabletop position to start with, and then we're going to bring our arms up as well. So you're going to breathe in to prepare, and as you breathe out, you're going to keep your pelvis still, but you're going to extend right arm and right leg. Now, the lower you go with the leg, the harder it is on your abdominals. So bear that in mind. And then bring it back, staying on the same side. Exhale. And inhale. I want you to exhale as the leg goes out, because it just reminds you that you are pulling your tummy in to maintain that stability. Good. And 4. And back, and 5, and 6, we'll do 8, and 7, and 8, well done. Let's go onto the left leg, so take a breath in, breathe out, and extend. Good, and back, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Hopefully you're really feeling that. We're going to add a little switch from side to side now. Are you ready? So, right arm, right leg. Inhale. Exhale, left arm, left leg. Inhale, switch. Inhale, switch. Inhale, switch. So keep that pelvis from tipping away from you. You've got to work really hard to pull it towards you. 4 to go. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Well done. Right leg down, left leg down, roll onto your side and then all the way round onto your front. We're going to do a little bit of work for the bottom half of the body and the top, but on the back body. So let's bring those hands around to start with. We're going to focus on lower parts, so waist down to toes. Rest your forehead on your hands. And just slightly separate your legs so they're not touching. Okay, they're kind of more or less feels like they're in line with the hips. And then you're going to take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to float your right leg up. Nice straight leg. Inhale, bring it down. Same leg. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. One more. Lift and lower. Let's go onto the left leg. So think of that leg lengthening first. So it's really tense. And then floating up for 1 and down. 2 and 3. So you really want to be feeling this in the bottom. 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Well done. Now we're going to do a little flutter kick. So this is almost like half the exercise for the swimming, which we know it as in Pilates. We're doing the bottom half of the swimming. So that's essentially what you just did, but alternating. So we start with the right leg in the air. Okay, and then we're going to bring the left leg up. And then keeping them both in the air, we're just going to flutter them. So we're just going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep that going, but let's add our Pilates breathing. So take a deep breath in through the nose. And then we're going to exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold those legs there. And then bring them down. Well done. Okay, let's turn our attention to the top half and bring your arms into that goalpost shape that we had when we were lying on our backs. So if you're looking at your own body, you are trying to align your elbow with your shoulder and then aligning the wrist with the elbow. Okay, and the head is floating above the mat, so you can keep your eyes closed if you prefer, or just look down. Legs are relaxed pretty much, but abdominals are pulling in. So think as if you've got an ice cube under your belly button and you're just drawing your abdominals away. Okay, and then from there, we're going to raise our right arm up, just the right arm, and bring it down. Nothing else is moving, just that arm. Lift and lower. 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 Last one. Left arm, float it up and down. Now you might find one side is much easier to lift than the other. It's really strange. I can feel that in my own body. This is so much easier on this side. And lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower and lift. Now let's put that together. We're going to exhale, draw the tummy and lift both arms and down. Both arms and down. both arms, and down. And as you lift them, think about the elbows drawing slightly down, because we don't want to be using our neck muscles. Okay, they overwork in most of us as it is. All right, so let's just use that mid-back, strengthening that mid-back. We're going to add 4 more. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and come down. Okay, so now we're going to put together a little combination move that's really going to work that back. So what we're going to do is take a breath in, hands stay down, we're going to exhale and we're going to float the chest away from the mat. Now you're going to take another breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to pull your tummy in and float the arms up. You're going to inhale, take them down, and exhale, lower the chest. So take a breath in, breathe out, lift the chest up. Take a breath in, breathe out, just float those arms up and think of a little squeeze of the shoulder blades. Arms down and body down. Now I know this one's tough, so we're going to do just 2 more sets. So we lift the chest, take a breath, lift the arms. Good. Arms down and lower the body down. One more time, we're going to lift. Take a breath. Arms, good. Arms down. Well done. You can feel this is working the back of your core a lot. Now we're going to, one final movement here. We're going to lift up. Take a breath. Lift the arms. Now you're going to inhale and try and reach your arms forward while staying lifted. Circle them around behind you. And as they go around behind, imagine someone's taking you by the wrists and gently lifting you up a little higher. Then you're going to bring the chest down and you're going to think of as if you're polishing a table with your hands. Bring them around and back down onto the floor. So we're going to lift the chest up. Take a breath, float the arms up, reach them forward, and then circle around to the side and try and lift a little further. Now keep the elbows where they are and think as if you're polishing a table with the palms of your hands. Bring them back round and down. Do you think you can do 2 more? Yes, shall we try? So we're going to lift up, float the arms up, reach them forward, circle around. Lift, lift, lift. Good. Bend at the elbows and come down. And last one. Lift. Lift the arms. Reach forward. Circle around. Try and lift a little higher. Good. Bend at the elbows and come down. Now push yourself up. I know you can feel that because I can really feel it as well. So we're going to come just into our kneeling position here. And just think about lengthening the spine, pushing the floor away, and eye line slightly forward. So you're really pulling in here on the abdominals, okay? And then from there, you're just going to reach the legs straight out and back, okay? And bring it in. Straight out and back. And bring it in. So you're going to exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Again, great for the core, this one, because there's so much stability that's going on. It looks easy, but as you know, it's not easy if you do it correctly. Okay, let's change to the other side. Okay, so just check your knees are back in line with their hip. You're going to press that floor away. Eye line forward. So we're really using all our core. Pull your belly button in before you begin. All right, and then we're going to exhale, reach back. And in. So we really having to hold that position of the body. You don't want to feel you're swaying side to side. If you are, you will not be using your core as effectively. So try and keep everything still except the leg that's moving. Good. Out and in. Out and in. We've got 2 to go. Out and in and out and in. Now next challenge, we go back to that right leg, but we also reach the arm out and come in. Really having to stabilize on the other side. So it's the opposite arm and leg to the ones that are moving where you are stabilizing. Good. I've lost count, sorry. Let's do 2 more. 2 and 1. Can you hold it here? Hold it here, draw your shoulders. And in and out. I'm going to say 2 more. Out and in, out and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1 and in. Well done. Okay, turn around. Time is almost up. Oh, Bill, you're having a nice stretch. Well done. Okay, so from here, we're going to do a nice abdominal one sitting up. So we have the legs out in front and they are together, knees are soft and toes pointing up to the ceiling. Now imagine you've got a big pole all the way up your back supporting you. So you can only move from the hips, okay? There's nothing going on here. You are just moving from the hips and it's a small move. You're going to bring your arms up and have them at 90 degrees like so. All right, and then from there, looking at the space between those hands, keeping that eye line, you're just going to hinge back. You're going to inhale back, exhale forward. Inhale back, exhale forward. And obviously the challenge is keeping the back straight. It's really easy to move the spine on this. Please don't do that. You can feel it's really working here. Back and up. Back and up. 2 to go. Back and up. And back and up. Now we're going to open, stretch. Good. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. Bring those elbows down. Take the hands behind you. Leaning back, fingertips pointing out, toes pointing down. Last exercise for this session. Are you ready? You're going to take a breath in, breathe out, push into your hands, your heels, hinging up, full body weight exercise. Very, very good for the core and down. So again, you're just moving at the hip, hinging at the hip and coming down. Breathing out as you go up. Inhale to calm down. Breathing out as you go up. Inhale to calm down. Last 2. And down. And lifting up and down. Well done. And then you're just going to come around to the front. You can have your legs crossed. And we're just going to have this hand here. We're going to reach up and just find a little stretch. So just reaching straight up, feeling that stretch through the side. And down, same the other way. Lift. And down. Well done. Hands here. Roll the shoulders out for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And there you go, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please do press that like button. Please do subscribe as well, and maybe leave me a comment. It's always good to hear what you think about the exercises, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. I am open to learning and growing with you, all right? So do leave me a comment, and of course, share with a friend or a family member that you think might appreciate doing some Pilates at home. All right, so thank you for joining me. Take care. And it's bye from me and bye from Boo. I'll see you soon. Well done, everyone. Yes, we are still here because this is a live stream. So we have done the exercise part of our workout or of our session. And now we're on to the chat. So I'm going to come and have a chat to you. For those of you who are concerned, you know Boo was injured, but you probably can't see it, but it's here on her foot. She's got a rather nasty injury. She lost all the nail on her paw. So, but you're feeling better today, aren't you? You feeling better? Yeah, you have a nice sleep. Okay, let me come and chat to you. Any questions about your Pilates practice or anything else? Now is the time to ask them. I'm just going to focus there, so hopefully you can see me all right. I can see I've got a slightly different angle on my camera, so I'm just going to move back a little so you can see me better. There we go. Okay, so let's see who's here today. Just so you know, I think there was about 80 people doing the session. Actually, no, 90 people doing the session live this morning. So that's always wonderful. So as you can see, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If we are live, we are all doing our Pilates together. It doesn't matter what time zone you're in. If you can make the time that I broadcast, you're going to be here in our lovely Pilates family, all right? And as a little reminder, I do live classes twice a week. So we do 10 a.m. UK time on a Friday, and on a Monday we do 4 p.m. UK time. I know that works really well for people who are on the other side of the pond. So yes, join us when you can. Okay, so I want to say hello to Yvonne Thorpe. Good morning, Yvonne. Thank you very much indeed for your donation. Much appreciated. Hello to Sally Lucas. Sally Lucas, good morning to you, Sally. Sally has a question, I think. Yes. Hi, Rachel Cohen and Rachelettes. Rachel, are you losing weight? Question mark. Is Boo all better? Question mark. And can you recommend a good electrolyte supplement? I love your lives and all your sessions. Thank you. Hello, Sally. Well, lots of questions and I'm very happy to answer them. So it's really interesting, your question about whether I'm losing weight, because actually I'm not, but I've slightly changed my eating habits. So you may have noticed that I have more muscle definition. Certainly that's what I've noticed anyway. And that's because I've been increasing my protein intake. I've been doing quite a lot of research on healthy aging. As you know, I am not shy about talking about my age. I don't care. I'm 61 now, and I'm very happy I'm still here. So I do, and I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to kind of health and well-being. So I do a lot of reading. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I read a lot about nutrition, about exercise science in itself. A lot of the exercises we did today were based on research I've done on exercise science and what's good for core stability. And what was the other thing? And I do a lot on mental health as well. Those are my kind of 3 main areas of interest. And what I've done is I've adapted my eating habits somewhat to get more protein into my body. So I'm upping my intake of protein. And what I've noticed is that I haven't lost weight. In fact, I've actually put some weight on, but it doesn't look that way. And I think it's really difficult concept for a lot of people, me included, because I grew up where it was all about, my mum used to go to Weight Watchers and all that kind of stuff, and it was all about what your number was on the scale. That just doesn't matter. You know, I just think it really doesn't matter. Yes, it's a bit of a guide, but it's not the key thing. The key thing to think about, this is Sally, but this is everybody else, everyone who's watching, is that we as women have more protein, and most of us do not have enough. And I'm not saying this as an expert on nutrition. I am not an expert on nutrition. I listen to experts on nutrition. I read their research studies. I listen to their podcasts. And the one message that has been coming through constantly is that women do not have enough protein. And there are various ways of calculating that, and it can all get very technical. And I'm going to be really honest with you, my head can't deal with all that information. So I'd like to keep things really simple. And really, really simple is it's around something like 1 to 1.1, let me get this right, 1 to 1.1 grams of protein to your body weight. So for example, my weight fluctuates somewhat, but I weigh, let's say, 140 pounds. Okay, I'm a bit more than that at the moment, probably about 145 pounds actually at the moment. So I need to be having around 140 grams of protein a day, more or less. I mean, this is not an exact science, as you can hear, but that's more or less, that's how I help myself keep it simple and work out what that is. Now, if you divide that into your meals, as many as you know, I do a lot of fasting. I've started to incorporate trying to eat a little earlier in the day, but only protein. So I still don't have any breakfast. I don't actually eat before I do my exercise, because for me it just doesn't feel right. So I'm still fasting. I tend to eat around 12 now, between 12 and 2 generally. But I will get as much protein into that meal as I can. So I'm looking at getting 30, 40 grams of protein into that first, which for me is my first meal of the day. So that is something, that is a message that is coming through from all the female nutritionists that I see, I hear, I follow. That seems to be a very core message. So I would say that is a very long answer, Sally, to whether I've lost weight. Actually, I haven't, but I think what's happened is the distribution of muscle versus fat has changed slightly in my body, because I've been having more protein. I don't have a lot of carbs anyway, but I have healthy carbs like sweet potato and stuff like that. So I hope that helps. Is Boo all better? Thank you. That's a lovely question. She's not recovered yet, but she is in recovery. Where we live in near Brighton, very close to Brighton. And in this part of the world, there's a lot of chalk and a lot of flint, which is wonderful for like vineyards. We have some amazing vineyards in Sussex, would you believe, that make, you know, champagne and wine and all kinds of stuff. So it's brilliant for that. But what it's not good for is for dogs, because if they're running really fast, chasing a ball or something like that, and there's a bit of flint in the ground they can't see, it can slice through their paws. So she's had quite a few injuries where her paws have got hurt, but this one was really nasty. She basically lost the whole nail on one of her front paws. So she's been feeling very sorry for herself, quite rightly. And we've been taking great care, just lifting her up, taking her out, bringing her back. But she's seen the vet, all is cleared, we're keeping it all clean, so hopefully she will recover slowly in the weeks to come. And your other question, Sally, sorry, can you recommend a good electrolyte supplement? So electrolytes, so I'm thinking, is that for hydration, Sally? Because the best hydration is water, filtered water. So I highly recommend that. I actually was suggested, now I can't think of the name of it, I think it's called Clear Vegan Protein. I'm trying to think of the brand. I can't think of the brand at the moment. But I was recommended a supplement that I can put in water to get extra protein in. It's not the ideal way to get protein in, because really you need to be getting protein in through food. But I do that occasionally, particularly if I'm having a very busy day. But in terms of sort of hydration, one of the things I absolutely love, and I haven't had it for ages actually, is coconut water. That is very, very good. So I hope that helps. And I shall be looking into these things more in the coming months, Sally, so bear with me on that. But I hope that helps. Right, going down the chat, as you can see, Kerwin's mentioned that I will be doing a newsletter. I'm planning on working on that this afternoon. So my newsletter normally has 5 items in, so it's not super long. You can scroll through it very, very quickly. But I normally just highlight something I'm doing on YouTube. I always have a recipe, a healthy recipe. So if you're someone that struggles finding recipes that are tasty or satisfy your sweet cravings but are not bad for you, that's really good. I try and look for something special every month to give you. They're not my recipes, they're recipes from people that I watch or research. There's generally a short read on something and a recommendation of some kind. Sometimes there's discounts in for activewear, all sorts of stuff like that. But it's a very short newsletter, and it's a great way to be part of the community. And the other way to be part of our community, of course, is to join my Ko-fi creator page. So Ko-fi is a separate page, it's separate from YouTube. It's where you can go and become a bigger part of our community. So in the Ko-fi page, not only can you support this channel, but you can also be part of deciding what direction it takes, what workouts we do, because I do all my polls there. That's where I ask, you know, what you'd like to see in the next month, or what day of the week you would like to get what type of session. You always get an opportunity to have yourself heard. And that's the best place you can do it. And my Ko-fi page is also a supporter page. So that's where you can directly support me and support this channel. I've always said, and I know I said every week, I am really trying hard not to put in a paywall like all my colleagues. Most of my colleagues have apps where you have to pay in order to access the content. And I'm really trying hard not to do that. And the reason I don't want to do that is because the life that I have now is a lot of it is because people did things for me when I was growing up for free. So I'm looking at this as a kind of pay it forward, if you like. I would not be here now if I hadn't have had some of the help and opportunities from some very kind people when I was growing up. And that was things from, you know, an exchange of me helping out at ballet classes with the little ones and getting a free class for myself in order to get my exams, in order to be good enough to get into a theatre school, all those things. Because I did come from a very, very, very poor family with a lot of issues and difficulties, and there was a mountain of trauma as well in my childhood, which I won't go into now, but that's the reason behind my Ko-fi page. I want to help other people, and so to me the best way that I can help other people is to do these really high quality sessions, but to keep them free, knowing that if you appreciate them and you have the ability to donate to support me, that you will, because you're one of these type of people. You are a kind person yourself and you want to pay it forward. So that's kind of how it works. All right. Okay, so Robin Newcomb, hello to you, Robin. Lovely to see you today. And great to hear you liking this week's playlist. Thank you for sharing that. It's a nice variety, isn't it, this week? I'm just working on next week's playlist as well. But you're not liking the hay fever. Yes, I know the pollen count is very high at the moment. I'm feeling that as well, so I know exactly how you feel. But hopefully it'll get dampened down with a little bit of rain at some point, because I think the rain is coming in. Robin says, is there a delay? My schedule shows starting in 12 minutes. I don't think so. Oh, Kerwin has given me the answer to that. Just need to refresh. That's something Kerwin is always telling me and I forget. Refresh your screen. So very good lesson there for us all. Hi to Martine, to Kerthel. Hi to Michelle Kobayashi, who says, I've just made it in time. Michelle is in Japan, everyone. She says, hooray. Question, is there an alternative to doing up stretches? Is there an alternative to doing up stretches? So up stretches is that like the, yes, so the downward dog. That's a very good question. Is there a question? So if you have osteoporosis, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud here. Michelle, I mean, in terms of an up stretch, it's that shape, isn't it? So what that's doing is stretching your hamstrings, and also if you lower your heels, it's stretching your calves. So of course you can do that lying down on your back by lifting your legs straight up, replicating the same movement. So for example, an up stretch, everybody, is this. Okay, so this is your up stretch, and depending what angle you're at, so if you go back into this angle, you've got a deep stretch of the shoulders. You've also got, if you lower your feet, a stretch of the lower legs. So to do that in some other way, it's not quite the same, but you can lift the legs up, bring both the legs forward like so. You can also flex those feet and do it in this position. So that's the leg stretch aspect. The shoulders a little harder, but anything where you're reaching those arms overhead is going to really stretch out those shoulders. Okay, and obviously doing it this way, you are still working your back muscles, but you're not weight bearing. So it's good for mobility, that one. So if that helps, I hope it is. If that's the reason, Michelle, let me know. If it's wrist related, of course, you can do the up stretch on your forearms. It's very hard, I think, doing it that way, but that is your other option. Leslie Matters says, just back from a hot local class. Looks very similar to what I've just done. We'll do this tomorrow. Donated on Ko-fi. Thank you very much indeed, Leslie. Much appreciated. Robin says, phew, that was a strong one for me today, but do feel stretched, and I'm sure all good for the rest of the day. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Same to you, Robin. Thank you very much. Sandy McClure, thank you very much for your donation. Much appreciated. Susan Mitchell says, love that. Thank you, Rachel. Some moves I hadn't done before. Hope Boo's poor heals soon. Bless her. Thank you very much. That's most kind of you, Susan. And thank you, Susan, for your donation as well. That's very much appreciated. Also, thank you to Donna. Thank you, Donna, for your donation this morning. Very much appreciated. Susan Mitchell says, by the way, you are in incredible shape and agree. Support your health and well-being thoughts. Thank you very much indeed, Susan. That's most kind of you. Sue Wood says, great session. Thank you, Rachel. Can you recommend any nutrition podcasts? There are so many out there. Glad to see Boo is much better. Okay, you know what I'm going to do, Sue, is I'm making a little note on my piece of paper, nutrition podcast, and I will have a look for something and I will put it in this week's newsletter. Okay, so if you may already be signed up to the newsletter, but if you're not, Sue, have a look, and I will definitely put that in this week's newsletter. And I do understand, I do get that myself. You can be a bit sort of inundated with information, and then it's very hard to kind of discern what works for you. So there's always an element that works for you, but what I try and do for you all is cherry pick the key messages, because I think if you want to really dig deep into nutrition, you could book yourself in with a clinical nutritionist. That can be very expensive, I know, and it can be quite a long process. And that is something I've done for myself to help with various health concerns. But what I do for you is I try and simplify the messaging, so there's sort of key things, like I was saying about the protein. So I will put a nutrition podcast in this week's newsletter, one that I think might be helpful for you all to read, and you as well, Sue, okay? Robin Newcomb says, interesting that you just said adding protein to your diet. I've recently just done the same thing to our diet. More protein, good for us as we get older. And I've noticed muscle definition too. There you go, everyone. Thank you, Robin, for sharing that. So yes, and I know I've been talking about the protein for a while, haven't I? So I'm really delighted, Robin, that you've given that a go. I'd be interested to know, as an aside, Robin, whether that's helped with your to know, as an aside, whether that's made any difference to how you feel in your body in terms of energy and stuff. But there you go, everyone. There's Robin. She's over in Zurich. She's added more protein and she's noticing that muscle definition. And I think the thing is, it's getting, you know, food is so important. I think there's been a when you get that combination right, then it works really well. Okay, so going down the chat, I know that there's a little bit of a delay. There might be a little bit of delay, so I'm getting a bit of a message through on my live here, but I shall keep going and hopefully you can hear me. Martin de Kerbel says, I loved it, was very friendly for my body today. Muscles weigh more than fat, so I'm looking now to lose centimetres in my waist, 80 centimetres now, 158 pounds. I think I did no more weight since half March. Well done, Martine. Jane Rose says, thanks, Rachel. I really enjoyed today's workout and feel that my core, back and limbs have been stretched and strengthened. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Jane. Caroline says, thank you, Rachel. Another great session, especially for a stiff back after too much gardening. It's that weather, isn't it, Carol, now? We're all out in our gardens. Ah, the wonderful Carla La Bombard. Hello, my lovely friends over in Long Island. Carla says, good morning, everyone. Love this class. Perfect for the day after gardening all day yesterday. Thank you. Glad Boo is feeling a little better. Well, thank you to Carla. And also, I just want to do this publicly. I've done it privately, but I wanted to say to you, Carla, thank you so much for the beautiful birthday present you sent me. It was so lovely. Carla handmade me 2 beautiful crocheted items, and they are just lovely and so personal as well. I really appreciated that, the work you put into that, Carla, but also the letter you sent. And I won't go into the details of the letter, but I just wanted to acknowledge publicly how thankful I am for that and how much I'm thinking of you with what you put in the letter, and sending you lots and lots of love. All right. And going on to say, Carla says, Rachel, do you do meditation? Can you recommend any in particular for better sleep? This is a wonderful question. So there's 2 things for better sleep that are really good that I do both of. The first is I take magnesium before I go to bed. Now that was recommended to me by a clinical nutritionist, and a lot of women, this is a big issue. A lot of us don't take enough magnesium, or any, in fact. I didn't take any until my nutritionist said to me, you need to be taking magnesium. So magnesium glycinate, magnesium glycinate is what was recommended to me. There are lots of products on the market. You want to look for one that's as clean as possible. By that I mean there are not loads of other things added in, flavors or anything like that. You want a clean product. And I think they are 560 milligrams, and I take 3 before bed. Now, I'm not prescribing that to you. You need to check that for yourself. Check on the bottle that you buy, but that's what I take, and I have a deep sleep. I dream, which is great because that's all part of the body recovering, the mind recovering. It's also very good for anxiety. So I would say that's something to look into, Carla, magnesium glycinate. The other thing that I do to help me sleep is I have a very special wind down routine that works for me. So that means that in the evening, generally me and my husband sit down around 8:30, something like that, with Boo to watch a little bit of television. I never have the top lights on. I have low light, so there's no overhead lights, no bright lights, very soft lighting. We watch TV for an hour and a half, maybe, yeah, sometimes 2 hours, generally around 10:15, we start making our way to bed. And then before I go to bed, I take my magnesium, and then I tend to read a nice escapist fictional story. Excuse me. And that just helps my body prepare for sleep. And again, soft lighting, no devices in the room. I have no television, no phones. Even with my husband, I've said, please, can we not have any phones in the room? And this was a few years ago we did this, and it works so well for us both. We have a clock, an electric clock, a battery operated clock. That's it. No technology, no blue light, nothing like that in the bedroom. And that seems to work for us. So hopefully there's a few options there for you, Carla. Donna says, hi Rachel, enjoy a latte on me. Yes, thank you, Donna. I really feel the strength in my body and balance from your osteo-friendly workouts. It's challenging modifying yoga latte workouts in studio especially. Yeah, I can imagine, Donna. Donna says, I choose half forward fold. Oh yes, good idea to modify full up stretch, aka downward dog, for osteopenia. That's really good, half forward fold. So if you're still watching Michelle, a half forward fold is, let me see, so if this is you standing and this is your waistline, a fold is, like we were doing on the floor, it's hinging at the hip level. And what's really good about that is it works those back muscles here. It also works the glutes and the hamstrings quite a lot. So that's a great idea, Donna. Thank you for sharing that. Susan Mitchell says, electrolytes, filtered water, squeeze of lemon juice and small grind of Himalayan salt, the cheapest way. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Susan. That's superb. And yeah, me and my husband, we both have first thing in the morning, hot water with lemon juice, apple cider vinegar in. And I also put creatine in, which is my other little, so it's not really a secret, but I suppose it's a bit secret. Creatine I put in, which I've been told will also helps the muscles build that protein or uptake the protein, I think is the right process. And again, that's something that changes for women in the menopause area and obviously post-menopause as well. So I take creatine in my water, but yes, that's a great idea, Susan. Thank you for that. Jasmine, Oriental Rose says, thank you for this, Rachel. My arms gave way on the very last exercise, lifting up by the arms and hinging from the hips. I have found a new ballet class. Would going to this help? Absolutely. Why not? If you want to do ballet, Jasmine, and you love dance, and I know you do, then go to your ballet class and let me know how you get on. And just remember, keep this going, keep this Pilates work going, because that will really complement your ballet class. It will help you stay strong, because ballet is beautiful to do, but it is quite hard on the body depending on the level of the class and the movements that are in it. So it's good to have that sort of Pilates as think of it as your scaffolding holding you up and enabling you to do all those other things that you want to do. And whether that's ballet class for Jasmine or golf for somebody else or running for somebody else, think of it that way. Sue Wood, you're very welcome. Carla says, yes, I do take magnesium, take that already. Brilliant, well done, Carla. And Donna says, magnesium great for cramps too during workouts. Exercise regularly, it's key to good night's sleep. As for meditation, David J, absolutely beautiful, master of wisdom. Thank you very much. And actually I didn't mention that, but I do mindfulness, Carla, and I use Headspace. I really like Headspace. I've been using it since it began. And Headspace was created by a British guy called Andy, and I think he lives in America. I think he lives in Los Angeles, perhaps, I'm not sure. But he's British. And I just really like the sound of his voice. He has lots of lovely people on his app. And I do that first thing in the morning, and sometimes I use it to get to sleep. as well. So you could have a look at Headspace, Carla, as an option. All right, everyone. Wow, I've been talking for ages, haven't I? Hopefully you've enjoyed our chat today. It's been wonderful to see you. I can see that there's been a bit of in and out with the broadband. It's not YouTube, it's just the broadband down here in the UK, but hopefully you've got your class, you've got your chat, and I'll be back same time next week. I will have a playlist out for you this weekend, and I'm going to try and get that Ko-fi post out today, Friday, because everyone on Ko-fi, majority of people voted for an update from me on a Friday afternoon. So that's the plan. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and if you haven't already, make sure you press that like button before you go. All right, so take care, lots of love, and I'll see you soon.